Hi, everyone. I'm Asma, and I'm happy to welcome you to our PwC Workforce podcast series on HR technology. This podcast is part of a series tackling key issues organizations are facing today on their most important asset, their workforce. So, today we will focus on technology enabled HR transformation. We will talk about how Essers, a Belgian transport, warehousing, and logistics company, transformed and digitized their HR operating model successfully during a period where we all were impacted by COVID-19. I have the pleasure to be joined by Eva de Vries and Ellen de Groot, who are both focusing on HR technology and are managing their digital transformation journey at Essers. So before we jump into the digital HR transformation journey itself, I believe it is interesting for all of us to learn a bit more about the company. Ellen, can you maybe expand a bit on this?
Yes, sure, Asma. H.Essers is a transport, warehousing, and logistics company which was established in 1928 by H.Essers. And the company has more than 6,600 employees spread across 19 countries in Western and Eastern Europe. The company has grown substantially over the years via both autonomous growth and a number of strategic acquisitions. And its aim is to become the global reference in its strategic markets, which are pharmaceuticals, chemicals, infrastructure, and ports.
Oh, thank you, Ellen. Let's deep dive now into the HR transformation journey itself and start, as always, with some basic questions. My first ones are the following. When and how did the journey start? What was the company struggling with? And why did they decide to implement HR cloud technology, namely Workday?
Essers is a well-established company that has been strongly committed to innovation for years and years, and is continuously working on its warehousing and transport processes. But in the field of HR tech, the company was lagging behind. The HR departments in the different countries worked independently of each other and still too often with pen, paper, and the Excel sheets. So the company suffered from scattered data and wanted to move towards one unified, simplified source of information. Moreover, there was no employee or manager self-service, and as a result, HR was increasingly a bottleneck which caused unnecessary delays in various processes. We started the conversation with Essers in May 2019, and from that moment, I must admit we are inseparable. With this project, we wanted to catapult Essers into the 21st century in the field of HR. Through the implementation of Workday, we envision a true HR transformation for Essers.
Love it. Thank you, Eva. So, if I understand it correctly, Essers wanted to modernize their HR function by implementing Workday and transforming their way of working. But what were the specific objectives they put forward? Ellen, can you elaborate a bit on this, please?
Yes, sure, Asma. There are three major objectives Essers wants to achieve with this transformation journey. The first one is standardization and globalization. With one single HR platform, Essers is able to put a global HR strategy in place and to standardize its working practices and procedures in all locations in which it operates. And the same global HR core processes are applied now in all countries. Only in case of legal or regulatory requirements, exceptions are allowed. The second objective is simplification. Implementing a new HR cloud based technology is the perfect opportunity to take a step back and analyze and simplify the current HR processes. And this is also where PwC's overall HR expertise came in handy, as we are used to redesign HR processes for our clients based on best practices and our HR expertise. And then last but not least, the final objective is to create insight, not only for HR, but for all stakeholders. With multiple, rather old systems in place to manage its people around the world, Esser lacked a transparent vision of its human resources and was unable to manage them in a cost-effective way. Moving to a single HR cloud based solution creates endless reporting opportunities, not only for HR, but also for managers and employees.
Thank you, Ellen. This sums up to a nice business case. By the way, are any of these objectives achieved yet? Eva, maybe?
Absolutely. We opted for a two-phased approach. This means that part of the solution is already in use and that the value creation could start early compared with the Big Bang scenario. In general, we spend a lot of attention to planning the digital transformation journey together with our clients, and there is no one size fits all approach. For some clients, even a Big Bang approach makes sense, while for others, multiple phases are advisable based on functionality or geography. It's important to know that you cannot underestimate the change component and workload at the client side. Implementing an cloud solution is not that hard as such. Implementing an HR cloud solution that is adopted and embraced and creates a true HR transformation is much, much harder. So, as shown in PwC's HR technology survey, 8 out of 10, meaning 82%, HR and HRIT leaders struggle with adoption challenges, most of which can be linked back to planning phases that miss getting all the right people in the room to answer the right questions for change at scale. Lack of preparation, not meeting user needs, or unclear user benefits and poor user experience top the list of reasons survey respondents believe technologies aren't embraced.
Okay, I see. So implementing Workday is much more than technology. It's all about adopting and embracing the technology.
Exactly. PwC uses a transformative implementation approach, which means that we are not only focused on the technology itself, but also on the organization, the processes, and the change in culture and the new way of working that comes with every HR transformation. In this way, we enlarge the added value for our customers.
So this whole digital transformation journey happened also at the height of the corona crisis. So how did you as a team deal with this? Ellen, maybe you can share your experience here?
Yes, sure. COVID was indeed an unexpected project factor, and we had to drastically change the way we worked. As a project team, we used to work together in a project room, our war room in Genk. And the room was full of flip charts and whiteboards with our design solutions and ideas. And our days were filled with workshops and meetings, and most of them were face to face. The core project team members from Essers and PwC were always around to discuss things formally or just informally at the coffee machine. And then all of a sudden, the project team fell apart and we had to organize ourselves in a completely different way. And even for us, having all the technological support we needed, it was a big change. But we kept the project going, and in the end, COVID-19 did not impact the timeline or the budget. So what did we do? We reviewed our meeting structure and we made clear agreements on virtual collaboration. And one of the things we did was to plan more regular project check-ins with the team and to spend more time on our weekly mood board, where every project team member gets the opportunity to share how they feel, how the workload is, what they need from other project members, and so on. And we consistently put our cameras on. And even this was a big change for the Essers team in the beginning, but now it's the most common thing of all.
We are all clearly learning to work differently. That's an achievement indeed. It makes me think about another question. Where does PwC make the difference in HR cloud implementation projects, whether it's Workday or any other solution? Eva, maybe?
Yes, Asma, thank you. It's a really nice question because PwC makes a difference by approaching every HR cloud implementation as a true HR transformation journey. We combine our technical knowledge of the tool with the deep HR expertise. We look at the technology, the people, the processes, and the organization, and all four aspects are as important as the other. We focus on the change that is needed to adopt and embrace the tool. We do everything we can to avoid the situation where a client spends over €1 million in technology which is not used by its employees. User adoption is a critical success factor for every Workday implementation project.
Thank you, Eva. I have maybe one final question for you. What advice would you give to other companies who have digital transformation journey in front of them?
That's a very good question, Asma. There are three things I want to say to all the companies who have the journey in front of them. First of all, start by getting all the right people in the room to define the real business problem. As with any technology investment, success with workforce technology is determined by two things: whether the solution will solve a real business problem and whether users are willing to make it part of how the work gets done. So the second advice I would give is to invest in change management. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to change your company culture. Instead, use your culture to strengthen your change management plan. And third, divide the elephant in smaller pieces. Don't try to do everything at the same time. Look at the availability of internal resources, prioritize, and prepare a clear roadmap. A multi-phased approach is often more feasible.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Eva, for this interesting discussion and for sharing this wonderful client story. In summary, I will remember the following. First, every HR technology implementation project is a true HR transformation journey. Secondly, PwC adds value by not only focusing on the technology itself, but also looking at the organization, processes, and people aspect of the transformation. And last but not least, an HR technology transformation can only be a success if the new tools are solving a true business problem and are embraced by the organization. Thank you again, Alan and Eva. Thank you to all the listeners. Stay tuned on the different platforms and our website for the next edition. Wishing you a nice day.